presentation.
Oh, perfect.
Will we be able to see the recording?
Immediately, no. It will be something that we will use as a resource because you signed your media release form for all teams moving forward.
Okay, it's ready now. Sorry.
Thank you.
Marina, you good?
Good? Okay, you may begin.
Good afternoon. My name is Eve, and these are my colleagues, Holly, Darren, Allison, and Marina. We are here from Sassafras Enterprises, and we are here today to make recommendations for the Stone Ridge Estates subdivision to reduce waste, including the volume of trash, food, and other wastes, such as e-waste and household hazardous waste. We have developed a waste reduction and recycling plan, as well as a community composting plan. Our recommendations also encourage residents to consider their water usage and disposal of animal wastes. This subdivision, Stone Ridge Estates, is located in suburban Albemarle County, Virginia. It is composed of about 500 residents in 125 single-family homes spanning 40 acres. The Stone Ridge Homeowners Association has seen a significant increase in waste generation in terms of trash, pet waste, and water usage as a result of residents spending more time at home over the past 2 years.
Albemarle County and Stone Ridge Estates primarily use private curbside trash and recycling collection to take waste to a transfer station. Each resident is responsible for hauling their cans to the curb once a week on trash pickup day, and recycling is on a separate day, and while some residents choose to recycle for an extra fee, others do not. The subdivision's trash hauler, Green for Life, carries this waste to Shoesmith Landfill, which is located over 80 miles away in Chesterfield, Virginia. Trash produced here in Albemarle County is affecting the land in Chesterfield, Virginia, because of the increased volume of trash being sent to their landfills. This increases the rate the landfills are filled, forcing the creation of new landfills in their county or elsewhere. So how much trash are we talking? According to the Environmental Protection Agency, Americans generate 4.5 pounds of municipal solid waste per person per day. Stone Ridge alone produces roughly 2,250 pounds of waste a day, meaning each household produces one 18-pound trash bag a day. That's 125 bags a day and around 7.5 tons of waste each week. The cost for trash pickup is $29 per household, with recycling being an additional $7. This means that Stone Ridge residents are spending over $3,600 per week and around $44,000 per month for trash pickup, more for residents that choose to recycle.
Trash and recycling trucks make the rounds through the community once a week. These heavy trucks typically average 4 to 5 miles per gallon, emitting about 42 metric tons of carbon dioxide a year. These emissions increase health risks and contribute to global climate change. Additionally, these heavy trucks increase wear and tear on the roads that the Stone Ridge community pays to maintain. To have maximum impact, we want to reduce volume and weight of trash and recycling. This saves time, money, and protects the environment. We plan on tackling this issue by centralizing trash and recycling, installing compactors, and composting.
We will install 2 centralized compactors. Compaction reduces the volume of trash and especially that of recycling. While installing the 2 centralized compactors may seemingly have a steep upfront cost of $44,000, this is similar to the yearly revenue from waste pickup fees for a community of 125 households. Monthly trash and recycling fees paid to Green for Life will instead be presented within HOA fees, and residents will not notice an increase or change. With the centralized compactors, the volume of waste produced by Stone Ridge will be condensed, increasing efficiency. 1 truck will be sent weekly to pick up the waste in the receiver boxes, and this truck drives less and is more fuel efficient, causing it to emit less pollutants into the atmosphere. By centralizing waste pickup, there will be less large truck traffic in the community, decreasing noise pollution, wear and tear of the roads, and fees paid to the waste haulers because their truck would not need to move around through the entire community. We will install the compactors near the entrance of the subdivision to the right of Woodsview River because of the convenience of the location for residents to drop off their trash and recycling as they leave. Residents will simply pull in, leave their trash and recycling, and carry on their way. Though compactors are not beautiful, they will be behind a wall of arborvitae trees, native shrubs, and perennial plants. Cost shares are available for this vegetation because it improves area aesthetics and increases habitat for native pollinators and local wildlife.
According to the Department of Environmental Quality, in 2020, just 34% of waste generated in Albemarle County was recycled. While this is a good start, we want to increase recycling in Stone Ridge. As stated previously, we will first start with a mixed recycling compactor in the same easy drop-off location as the trash compactor. Compacting recycled waste has the potential to reduce volume up to 20 times due to unoccupied space. Small recycling totes will be available to facilitate easy drop-off, but residents can also use their own containers. When residents drive through to drop off their trash, they'll be able to dump their recycling without having to worry about sorting. This receiver box will accept number 1 PET plastic, like soda bottles, number 2 HDPE plastic, like milk jugs and detergent bottles, as well as aluminum, tin, glass, all types of paper, and cardboard. There will be clear signs and a maintenance crew member on hand to answer any questions about what can and cannot be recycled. According to the EPA, most Americans want to recycle, but it can be difficult for consumers to understand what materials can be recycled, how materials can be recycled, and where to recycle different items. We will provide information to Stone Ridge residents about the opportunities for recycling, what can be recycled, and the proper disposal of other types of waste at the McIntyre Recycling Center and the Ivy Materialization Center, located less than 15 miles away, which accepts yard waste, hazardous waste like paint, motor oil, and antifreeze, as well as oyster shells and used cooking oil, and Ivy hosts special waste collecting events.
Participation is key. The DEQ states that the key to success of any program is ongoing promotion of recycling as an environmental and community asset. Many residents want to do the right thing because recycling is good for the environment and helps promote a circular economy. We will develop an education campaign to be included in the monthly Stone Ridge HOA newsletter and promote posts in the Stone Ridge HOA Facebook group. We will also make flyers and stickers that can be posted on refrigerators and recycling bins. Key information that must be included is that recyclables cannot be bagged in plastic trash bags. Plastic bags need to be recycled separately because they can damage the machines used to process recycling. This is one reason we will encourage the use of the recycling totes. Education is also important because many residents do not know that recycling unrinsed bottles and plastic increases the frequency of unwanted visitors like yellow jackets and other wildlife. Another shocking fact from the EPA is that 27% of all municipal solid waste is paper products. So, simply by recycling paper products, of which all types are accepted, newspaper, cardboard, printer paper, and more, residents are significantly helping reduce the waste sent to landfills. Reducing waste sent to landfills and increasing recycling has positive impacts on the local communities where the trash is being taken, and the economy. According to the Recycling Economic Information Report, recycling in the U.S. generates 1.6 jobs, $76,000 in wages, and $14,000 in tax revenues for every 1,000 tons of material that is recycled. Recycling helps close the loop and promote a circular economy.
Let's talk compost. According to the EPA, another big impact on solid waste is food scraps and yard waste, up to 29% of all solid waste. Because of this, landfills are the third largest source of human-generated methane emissions, with food waste representing 8% of total global greenhouse gas emissions. An easy start is to collect yard waste, and while some counties have a leaf pickup day, Albemarle County does not. We can start by having the Stone Ridge Maintenance Crew designate leaf or yard waste pickup days. Collecting yard waste isn't only beneficial to the environment by reducing the volume of waste and greenhouse gas emissions in landfills, but in our urban environment, leaf pickup provides an essential function by preventing the flooding of clogged street drains. Some of Albemarle County public schools already employ the commercial composting project to demonstrate to students the benefits of composting, but we need to work on convincing the adults. The average American family of 4 throws out $1,500 in wasted food per year, and food waste is the #1 ratio being sent to landfills, but this value can easily be decreased. Composting is a great way to make use of kitchen scraps and yard trimmings while developing nutrient-rich compost. By composting eligible food and vegetative waste, we can significantly reduce the volume of waste produced in Stone Ridge Estates and Albemarle County as a whole. In the U.S., only 6% of food waste actually gets composted. Currently, most subdivisions in Virginia, including Stone Ridge, do not have any organizations that are promoting composting. Citizens of Albemarle County can compost their food waste using specific bags at both McIntyre and Ivy, which are then sent to facilities about 40 miles away. But let's focus closer to home.
We are going to build an on-site static compost area off the end of Woodsview and Breezewood before the cul-de-sac. This area is ideal because it is centralized and easy to get to for residents to drop off waste and eventually collect nutrient-rich compost. The compost bins will be constructed of wood and wire mesh to promote aeration and decrease access to wildlife. Because the compost piles are static, they'll be passively aerated and be low maintenance. We will start with the base of leaves, yard waste, and shredded paper. The startup cost for this project will be about $300. Residents can deliver yard and kitchen waste to a volunteer or maintenance crew member who will verify that the material can be composted. This is to ensure that only compostable items are added. As we educate the residents of Stonebridge, this step will be less needed. Our maintenance will periodically turn the piles. Not only starting a composting program helps Stonebridge reduce the amount of yard and kitchen waste created by residents daily, it will also create a useful resource for residents. A community garden can be started near the community center for use by all residents, where the created compost can be used as a natural fertilizer, increasing soil health and reducing the need for chemical inputs. Additionally, composting can be picked up by residents for use around the home.
E-waste refers to electronic waste and includes any electronic materials or devices. Household hazardous waste encompasses things that can catch fire, be toxic or corrosive, and/or react or explode when mixed. Some examples include paints, cleaners, batteries, oils, pesticides, medications, and anything else that requires special care when being disposed of. Both forms of waste contain toxic chemicals that can be potentially harmful and leach into groundwater. Due to this, these items should never be disposed of alongside regular waste. But many residents do not realize this and also do not know what to do with these materials. It is not feasible for small subdivisions to collect or store it because it would be difficult to meet the safety regulations. Both e-waste and hazardous waste are accepted locally at both Ivy and McIntyre, which is free for residents of Albemarle County. The last Household Hazardous Waste Day was April 30th, and 2 more will be held in September. Ivy also holds bulky waste amnesty days for certain large pieces of waste, including furniture, mattresses, certain appliances, and tires that are collected with no charge. We can promote recycling e-waste, hazardous waste, and collection events at Ivy and McIntyre by advertising at our own trash and recycling center, as well as on the Stone Ridge HOA Facebook page and newsletter.
Many residents of Stone Ridge have dogs and walk them on community paths. When animal waste is left uncollected in the public eyesore, and it can pollute nearby water bodies because it contains bacteria, pathogens, and excess nutrients. This runoff can affect aquatic life and impact public health. Doggy waste stations, costing $250 each, encourage the positive behavior of owners picking up their pets' waste because of the convenience. They will not need to bring their own supplies or carry waste for long periods. So do leash laws. These stations also increase social pressure to practice environmentally healthy habits like decreasing littering. According to a recent study, the average scoop dog poop increased 80% due to the installation of these stations. We recommend installing a few of these stations along community paths. Those stations have an upfront cost and may be possible to receive funding because reducing animal waste helps local waterways meet their TMDLs, or their total maximum daily loads. These waste stations require little maintenance and greatly improve the health and aesthetics of our land and our local waterways.
Approximately 21% of American households are served by septic tank field systems, and 4 billion gallons of wastewater is dispersed below the ground surface every day. The homes at Stone Ridge are part of a cluster septic system. A cluster septic system gives every house a septic tank, but all feed into the same distribution box and dispersed into communal drain fields for soil infiltration. A properly functioning septic system will remove 75% of all suspended solids, oils, and grease. This system provides a more sustainable approach to waste treatment for dense populations without the need for connecting to public water supplies. A typical single-family home uses 70 gallons of water per person per day. This means that each household on average uses about 280 gallons of water daily, and Stone Ridge uses about 35,000 gallons daily. Many residents may assume that living in such an urban environment might mean having a centralized waste treatment system, but this is not the case. These residents may not understand the limitations of a septic system and will therefore need some guidance about what should not be disposed of down the drain. Drains are made for liquids. Solid foods and waste should not be disposed of down the drain because it can clog pipes, but much of it can be collected for composting. Toilet paper is fine, but other solids such as hygiene products like wet wipes should not be put down the drain. Because of the community nature of a cluster septic system, one household can impact many other residents. We will include guidelines for septic management and water conservation in the monthly Stone Ridge newsletter to educate residents to be water wise and septic smart.
Stone Ridge Estates has many stormwater retention ponds to collect stormwater runoff from streets and sidewalks during rainy events. A stormwater retention pond is a pool of standing water that contains stormwater runoff that has collected debris, pollutants, and chemicals as it moves toward the retention ponds. The retention pond causes the water to slow down and settle, providing natural filtration through the plants and sediments that live there. By decreasing the transfer of pollutants into nearby water bodies, overall water quality is improved. Stormwater retention ponds are aesthetically pleasing, they increase biodiversity, provide habitat for wildlife, prevent flooding, and decrease the impact of storm events. Many residents may not realize the benefits of these retention ponds, so we will include information about them in the HOA newsletter and sponsor a wildlife photo contest and the Stone Ridge HOA Facebook group.
The bottom line is that waste costs money, and our waste is affecting residents of other counties. There are visible costs and many hidden environmental costs. Currently, Stone Ridge residents pay a monthly fee of $300 that covers maintenance, landscaping, public use fees for the community buildings and activity areas, and wages for staff members and maintenance crew. Composting removes heavy wet waste, decreasing trash mass and volume. Compaction eliminates air. Both help with the biggest cost: wasted volume, unnecessary weight, and transportation. By just applying the $29 per month per household trash pickup fee that was paid individually to Green for Life instead to this Estates HOA, Stone Ridge Estates HOA, the cost of compactors, including recycling for all residents, starting a composting program, and installing doggy waste stations will be revenue neutral within 3 years, without an increase in fees. After 3 years, the excess HOA fees that the savings allowed can be used for public education, participation, and community improvement.
While we have concentrated mainly on what residents of Stone Ridge Estates can focus on within their community, there are also steps that can be taken on the county and local level. The America Recycles Pledge is a national recycling encouragement strategy where U.S. organizations agree to take action by identifying recycling solutions to create a more resilient material economy and protect our environment. We recommend that Albemarle County considers this pledge and further encourages its citizens to increase their recycling rates and reduce their waste. We also recommend that Albemarle County consider creating a countywide composting program to give residents easy means to reduce organic materials sent to the landfill, and also inform them of drop locations such as Ivy and McIntyre, or curbside pickup programs similar to those of Fairfax County.
We must also consider the cost of doing nothing. Landfills are filling up. No one wants a new one in their backyard, and new projects are more likely to be built in the neighborhoods of the socioeconomically disadvantaged. To conclude, each and every resident of Stone Ridge Estates can have a real and impactful effect on our local environment by taking small and simple steps.
Compacting trash and recycling greatly reduces volume, decreases truck trips, increases efficiency, and decreases greenhouse gas emissions.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. Paper products make up 28% of all solid waste, but this value can easily be decreased by simply separating and recycling these products, therefore reducing the overall volume of trash.
Food waste can easily be composted, reducing weight and volume, decreasing methane emissions.
Reducing waste and recycling is a community asset and is something that Stone Ridge residents can be proud of.
Thank you for your time and for your consideration. We now open the floor to your questions.
Judges, their time was 18 minutes and 11 seconds. They get all 5 points on their final question. We'll reset the clock and you have up to 5 minutes for questions.
I'm curious about